Hey, David Arlen here. I'm adjusting my metronome. This is a different kind of metronome. This is the Soundbrenner Pulse. Right now it's on my wrist. There's also a special attachment to put around your chest. The cool thing with this that I received a couple months ago maybe, is that it frees you to focus on the music instead of having to look at, the ticks of a metronome or listening to the ticks. No, you just feel it. And the beauty with that is that that allows you to really focus on the music while still internalizing the beat and the strong foundation that will give you direction in your improvisation and your music. And it's really awesome. It syncs to your phone. Right now I have it synced to my iPhone. A lot of different customizations. I can start this, and as I do this, I will start feeling the pulse. Take my word for it, you can't really feel it. I can show you. There's the light that is on right now. I can disable the light if I want. All that controlled with my phone. I can put a sound to it. The sound is going to come out of my phone if I need that aid as well. It's synced, right? Could do a lot of things. I can change the color of the light. I can do whatever I want. But the cool thing is that, again, I feel that pulse, and it's pretty magical. It's really awesome. I can tap on it in order to get the tempo that I want, or I can adjust the wheel, whatever. And what I thought I'd do, instead of doing a review of this thing, which is sometimes a little dry, I'm going to share with you 5 licks that I came up with using the Soundbrenner Pulse. These licks are going to work over a G Dorian backing track, this one right here. And we're going to go through the 5 caged positions. So we're in G. I'm going to start with that zone of the fretboard, then this one, then this one. 5 different licks that are rhythm licks that I want you to explore and learn and incorporate into your own playing. I highly recommend this. Let's get into the licks. This first lick is made of 3 different ideas, and just like all the other licks, it's really important to internalize all the different rhythm subdivisions. Most of them are going to be in 16th notes. So with your metronome or your Soundbrenner, you're going to really lock in a comfortable tempo. In this case, with the backing track, that's our beat, right? But if that's too fast, you can always slow it down and internalize that. So keep that in mind. 1, 2, 3 is the first idea. Okay, just work on that. And if you can sing it before playing it, that's really going to help you lock into the groove. Because one thing with all these licks is that if you stick to the proper rhythm placement, and if you hit a wrong note, it's going to sound okay, because you're gonna have the intent behind, and rhythm is often more important than the notes you choose. So really lock that in. Da 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 da, and you can hear the da 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 da. So that's the first idea. Okay, we'll continue. So in context, 3, 4. Something like that. So we're approaching that note, which in this case is the 9th, with a chromatic passage, tiny passage. So instead of starting with the 9th, we're starting with the flat 9, like that. It's something that is heard a lot in those kind of fusion-y ideas. But that's what we have here. And again, so. Okay, something like that. So you're tying both ideas together. Da 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 da. So it's a repetition of that thing. Then we're going to use some triplets. So if I play the whole lick, pay attention to those triplets. I'll play it with the backing track here. Okay, so it was da 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 da. Something like that. The 3s. The tabs are below, of course, but That's our first lick, and that all is based around that first position of G minor pentatonic. I see it as minor pentatonic, to which I'm adding 2 notes to make it Dorian, the major second and the major sixth. That's lick number 1. Let's check out lick number 2. That lick is just very enjoyable to play. Once it falls under your fingers, you can't really forget it, and it's really easy to apply it to other areas of the fretboard, even areas that are kind of wrong. We're using the second position of the G minor pentatonic G Dorian, right, in that zone of the fretboard right here. Again, it's based on 16th notes, so you've got this going on. If you sing this, go ahead, sing it, and I'll play it. You'll see that all the notes fall under that. It's really important, and again, if you play this in a different area of the fretboard, it's going to sound out, but yet with intent. I'll try that 1 fret above, and you'll see what I mean. So instead of in key, it's going to be outside. But let's try that. And then you go back in. Those kind of licks. Now, I realize I did start it out, which is not necessarily something you want to do. You want to approach that with some in phrases. I'll do it right now, actually. Establishes the color. And then I'll try that. Right? It kind of works, right? And it's because of the intent behind, which is that rhythm motif. One thing to take out of this lick, besides the fact that you have that subdivision, is the chromatic passages. Chromatic passages are really good when you're phrasing rhythmically, because you are adding more notes to the group of notes you're playing with, which helps things flow a little bit more. And another thing is the silences that are injected in there. Those silences do fall in one of those subdivisions. And if you start phrasing, this is how this lick was born actually. If you start phrasing rhythmically with your metronome, or again the Brenner if you have one, or backing track, just start phrasing with your mouth. Everything is still, but you have those silences. That's the lick. It's really a cool thing to have on your fingers. Again, the tabs are on the screen for you, or you can download them if you'd like. I'll leave the link below. But that was lick number 2. Moving on to lick number 3, which is going to use the third position of the G minor pentatonic / G Dorian, which is the key of the backing track. Let's check it out. Okay, lick number 3 is based on that third position. This time we're just playing minor pentatonic, but again, you know by now that the notes are not as important as the rhythm. So feel free to experiment with other notes. We're again in G Dorian, so you can add the major second and the major sixth to your minor pentatonic scale. And the concept here is that we have a very short melodic motif made of 3 notes. In this case, I started with that kind of idea, right? And that idea, we're not really going to look at the actual notes, but the direction of these notes. So I'm starting with a note, ascending, going to a note above, and then the third note is going to be below the first one. That's what gives the character to that particular melodic motif. So something in the same family of this might be, it follows the same characteristics, right? I've got a note that is higher, and then the third note is below that one. There's a lot of different things you can do with that. You can be creative, right? And again, the notes don't matter as much, but that's the thing here. We have that type of rhythm motif that we are going to displace, which means that it's not always going to fall where the original idea falls in. If so, it would sound like this. That's not what we have, but we're respecting still the characteristic of that idea. So we have so those two last melodic segments. The first note was a little bit longer, but still you have the teka 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 teka. That subdivision is very important. So that's what keeps you on track and keeps your improvisation focused. I'll play the full lick together. Follow the tabs below. Seeing what is being played as you're hearing it is going to help you strengthen the understanding of that motif. Okay, and you can experiment with other places of the fretboard. Really, the most important thing is, again, to have one very short idea and play it again in different areas of the fretboard, starting on different notes, and keeping the essence of the original idea, starting it in different spots of the actual the grid, the mental grid that you have. Taka, 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 taka. And when I was playing this, when I'm recording this, I'm not seeing the tabs. It's not tabbed yet. So it might not have been exactly as written, but the idea was there. And that's really what I want you to get out of this. This is not the kind of thing where I want you to learn the lick exactly how it is. Extract from it the concept so you can apply it to your own musicality and come up with new ideas on your own. We don't want to make clones of anyone here. We just want to inspire and get new ideas with this lick. But that's lick number 3. Let's check out lick number 4. That's lick number 4. So play it in sequence like that. It's kind of boring and it kind of loses what that lick actually does, which is really important when you're phrasing and when you're in the middle of an improv that you want to last and tell your story. That's to break a flow between the subdivision that you have. We have a 16th subdivision and triplets. That kind of slows down the thing a little bit, right? You got the 16th first, which is kind of fast, and then the triplets, which kind of gives more energy to the thing. Right, kind of gives you an opportunity to breathe a little bit. I would use this kind of thing when I feel that, all right, I've been doing the 16th thing for a while, I'm kind of lacking ideas, losing the audience a little bit. Inject some of those with that. Now, remember what we talked about in the previous lick where silence is very important. Combined with silences, if you do some 16th things, taka taka ta, taka. I do this because it's mental, right? That's all you. That's in your mind. You're not playing, saying it, but taka ta, taka taka ta, taka ta ta, taka taka ta ta, taka ta ta, taka taka ta, ta 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 ta. Like that. That really, really does help. And you can see below. I'll play it one more time with the backing track. Follow along so you can see that break of flow, the slow down of things. I'll play it a few times for you. Here it is. That is it right there. Okay, so that was lick number 4. It is minor pentatonic, Dorian, 4th position. I'll meet you in lick number 5. That was lick number 5. We're in the 5th position of a G minor pentatonic scale. We're still in a G Dorian context. 5 is appropriate because the motif here is based on 5. So I was playing 5 notes, descending that 5th position. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can see that on the tab below. However, the guideline, I see it as a train track in my mind that helps me keep in check through the improvisation, is based on 4s. So you have that subdivision, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, taka, 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 like that. But because the melodic idea is on 5, it kind of like starts somewhere else in the thing. Something like that. And then we end with the triplets. So we've got taka 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 ta 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 ta, something like that. That's the idea today, and it falls under the fingers really well. It's applicable to any other minor pentatonic position. And again, remember, the notes themselves are not as important in these types of ideas as the rhythm motif. If you get lost rhythmically, your whole improvisation is just going to crash. However, if you have that mental guideline, 16th notes, triplets, 16th triplets, whatever it is, you can play around that and adding silences, maybe starting that lick to go a little further, starting it, adding some silence in between. Might sound pretty cool. Let's give that a try. Right, you can do a lot of things with that, but the tabs are on screen for you to study this lick. Try it in different areas of the fretboard. Again, minor pentatonic is going to work great with that. Gives you kind of an Eric Johnson type of feel. He likes that kind of thing. And that is lick number 5. I hope you enjoyed these licks. You can get the full tabs in Guitar Pro format and PDF, and also the backing track that I was playing over for free. Just visit the link below, enter your email address, and I'll be sending you those right away. And check out soundbrenner.com. This is really cool. The Pulse, it really works. It's different, but it does trigger some new ideas in your playing like you saw today. And I'd be curious to know what you think about this. Leave the comments below, share this around. Subscribe if you haven't already, because 3 videos come out every single week. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, inspiring guitar players to develop their own voice on the instrument. That's what the channel is all about. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you next time. Practice well.